Wow, just a dominant win by the Washington Commanders, 40-7 against the Carolina Panthers. Utter speechless. I'm here with my good friend Mahad from the Somali Sports Guy. Check him out on Twitter.
Hey,
Mahad, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, man. A great win today. At first was a little scared with the whole Jayden Daniels situation, but Adam Peters set a good foundation for this team and still be successful regardless. But it was a good win for sure, especially at home.
No, definitely. I agree. We were all scared. We were watching that game together. Jayden Daniels, with I think it was a rib injury. You could just see after I think that first 40-yard run that he had that he just did not look okay. And obviously, when we were in the locker room, everyone was scared about that. But Marcus Mariota, although he struggled in that first drive, came in and destroyed the Panthers 40-7, putting up. I don't know if it's scoregami, but that type of performance with a backup quarterback, got to give Cliff Kingsbury his props. But what is your overall thoughts of this win?
For sure, definitely got to give a shout out to the O-line. They stayed strong. Definitely gave Brian Robinson, Eckler, all those guys opportunities. Even with the whole Jayden Daniels injury situation, Marcus Mariota, at first, had to go through those struggles, but that's expected when you're coming in, not getting much reps with the first team. But, he felt his groove soon on. Had a bunch of throws to, Zach Ertz, Terry McLaurin. He was starting to get hot with them. At times, he was a little sloppy with the throws. I know the one with Giammi Brown, he kind of underthrew him and threw him to the edge a little bit. But overall, it was a very good performance. I'm not going to complain at all. I really am very pleased with the team.
Yeah, it was. I think was it what 27-0 at halftime. It was a shutout at halftime. Now the Commanders are 5-2. Before we talk about this Bears game, we talk about the other things defensively. I mean, that pick six by Dante Fowler, like, wow, you rarely see that in Washington. The defense, obviously, against the Panthers team, it's now 1-5, not the best team in the NFL, but it's still good to see stuff like that.
Exactly. No, for sure. Definitely the awareness, especially in the D line overall, everywhere. Phil Mathis was playing great. Dante Fowler, lights out as usual. Frankie Louvu, especially, coming in with 2 sacks, man. He's doing it everything, bro. The whole 9 yards is like, he's taking everyone's position over. So definitely shout out to the defense and offense. My boy Austin Cyber, bro, keeping it clutch always. My fantasy boy. So it's always good. It's always good.
Yeah, you talk about Frankie Louvu against his former team, Jeremy Chin as well, and Emmanuel Forbes. Out of all people, had an interception today, even though it was like right there given to him. It was good to see Emmanuel Forbes out there. Obviously, as much backlash as he gets, rightfully so. Seeing a young guy like him who is basically out the door, wasn't Adam Peters' pick, but it's good to see him get an interception. And I don't know, do you think going forward, Forbes should be able to get more playing time after today's performance?
To be honest, I didn't see much from him in order to prove that he deserved more. Of course, he was the 13th pick of the draft, right? Like 2 years ago, a year ago. So, I mean, I feel like for people to say it's too soon to give up on him, I agree with that. But I also see the other people talking about how big of a liability he is. Good for him. He didn't really mess up much. He wasn't given that many opportunities to showcase himself. The Panthers aren't really that good to begin with, but um, to be honest, if I had to say, it definitely is. I think his time is like the end of it. I feel like if he had some trade value, he would have been gone by now. But something he's probably going to be leaving the facility soon or later at the end of the season.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. You talked about it. I guess we can pull up the stat sheet. Is there any eye-popping things that you wanted to talk about?
Honestly, Terry, played very well, especially with Marcus Mariota. He had 98 yards receiving and 6 receptions. But, I feel like Zach Ertz got a good roll on, coming into before this game, but coming into this game now. He had some stints in the Baltimore game, but coming in now having 40 yards receiving and also a receiving touchdown, the whole year, it's been like, when Zach Ertz going to start getting involved. So to see both our tight ends, Ben and Zach, both getting touchdowns, it's a good sign to see. I wish Luke McCaffrey could have gotten involved more, especially towards the end of the game. I feel like, just focusing on putting all the young guys in and just seeing what you got there, So there's definitely no risk in doing it. But overall, really surprised with our tight ends, especially with Terry as well. And honestly, yeah, great game overall for most of the offense.
Yeah. And sorry I didn't say this before, but this isn't a common co-host on the channel. Mahad's a good friend of mine. And hopefully maybe see him more in the future. A big Commanders fan like me, also a big Chelsea fan. Although they did lose today, it was a good game by them. But like you said, yeah, I mean, 40-7. The Commanders were 5-2. I think the last time the Commanders were 5-2 was, I think, 2018 when they had Alex Smith and they had that hot first start. Hopefully, it doesn't end like that. But Jayden Daniels, like you said, went down. And obviously, it was a good thing. There was no need for him to put him back in the game when you're up by that many points. Now going forward, his mom did tweet out saying that he's fine, so that's good to see. It's also good to see fans packed out there in Northwest Stadium. Just overall, going into a game where it's the Bears, Caleb Williams versus Jayden Daniels, that's the headline. They flex it to 4 o'clock. I guess we can get your thoughts on that. What's your thoughts going into this upcoming matchup against Caleb Williams in Chicago?
No, for sure. It's definitely going to be a good game, no doubt about it. The Bears in the past have not been the best, but this year they really are starting to turn things around. They do have weapons on offense that we can't just neglect like we did this week with the Panthers. There's some serious crew. They're a serious crew. So I think coming into this, they're definitely going to have to stay disciplined. They were pretty disciplined this game. They weren't really sloppy with turnovers and a lot of unnecessary penalties and stuff like that. But going into it, definitely the D-line's got to show up. I know Jayden Allen getting out for the year is a big loss, but definitely trying to get back to the quarterback. Hopefully Frankie Louvu will keep doing his thing. And, just overall, the defense has got to do their thing. I'm pretty much good faith in the offense. The defense is, for me, is like the biggest question mark on that, for sure.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Right now, the Commanders are 5-2 atop of the NFC East. I know Dallas was on a bye week this week. Philly destroyed the Giants. So, I don't know. Let me know. Like, do you think it's going to be between Washington and Philly, or do you think Dallas is going to come back in the mix?
To be honest, I honestly have no clue for sure, to be honest. Like, I was thinking about it the other day, how do we match up against the Cowboys and the Eagles? What team do we have a better chance of sweeping? And honestly, like, I feel like it is too early in the season. Although we've already been getting a roll on with our team, we're coming in at 5-2. I still think that it's kind of early to tell, but matching up against all teams in our division and most of the teams in the NFL as well, I do, take our bets on ourselves for sure. Dallas, they have their own problems. Philly, they had a good win this weekend, but it's the Giants then again. So I think looking forward in the next couple of weeks, I know we play Dallas. I think it's towards the end of November.
Towards the end of the season, I'm pretty sure.
End of the season, right? Okay, yeah. I know we finished week 18 with them, but honestly, I feel like we definitely, like the Cowboys, we definitely could get a good run in for our money. Just the Eagles, I'm just something kind of like skeptical about, because I know today, like, AJ Brown had a really good game. So just seeing which one of our DBs is going to be able to go up against him and, give him some effort, that's the big question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, definitely agree.
So what do you think, though? Do you think Dallas or Philly, which one of them do you think would give us the most?
I think Dallas, like, I think they're collapsing. Like, I just don't think, like, offensively they didn't address anything. Jerry Jones getting mad at radio hosts, guys that he hired to hire him. He signed up for asking questions. Mike McCarthy's going to get fired. I think Dak Prescott's not going to be a Dallas Cowboy next year. I really legitimately think now that AJ Brown, Devontae Smith is back, and as much slack as Nick Sirianni gets, this team, they have a talented roster. So I do think it's going to be between Washington and Philadelphia. But going back to this game in general, I guess we can talk about Brian Robinson. I think he had 2 touchdowns. Just a overall great performance by him. And I've been saying for a while, even coming into the season, I expect him to be a Pro Bowler this year. Do you think he's on track to be that?
Oh, for sure, definitely. Yeah, he had 12 carries for 71 yards and damn near 6 average of yards per carry, and with a touchdown. So although it was just the Panthers, I definitely think he's on the right track. Hopefully, just fingers crossed he stays healthy. I think that's the biggest factor, honestly, health, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And again, got to give Cliff Kingsbury credit. Again, putting up 40 points is not easy in NFL. And I get it. It's the Carolina Panthers are probably one of the worst defensive teams in NFL history, at least on track to be. With your backup QB, it is impressive. And I wanted to see everyone like share the wealth, share the sugar, as the cool kids say. I wanted to see guys like Luke McCaffrey and Noah Brown score. But it was good to see Benson not get his first touchdown, Zach Ertz score. Defensively, Joe Witt, as bad as his defense has been, losing John Allen can be deflating, but it was a great statement win. And now that you have against, like you said, like a Chicago Bears team with Keenan Allen, with Romo Dunze, with Cole Kmet, with Caleb Williams' mobility, like and defensively, we're gonna Montez Sweat, revenge game for him. It's gonna be a great matchup. Am I missing anything else? We talked about everything.
Everything, yeah. No, honestly, like looking back at it now, I kind of want to highlight the fact that our leading tacklers were not even linebackers or D linemen. They were Mike Santrell, Noah Igbenogany, both of our starting corners. So that's something alarming too, which is pretty impressive. 6 tackles, each of them tied for first on our team this game. Pretty impressive. Bobby Wagner doing his thing always. And honestly, like Frankie Louvu, like I know I already said it, but like he had one heck of a game. Like he's a dog, honestly.
And we could talk about it. He talked about Adam Peters early on. Like, what a job he has done bringing in guys like Bobby Wagner, Frankie Louvu, Austin Seibert off the street, trading Jahan Dotson for the same value that you get for Amari Cooper
Oh my
and
God.
Devontae Adams. I mean, just talk about Adam Peters, Mahad.
Tell me, no, for sure, definitely. Like one of the biggest, news headlines I think for us this upcoming year was obviously outside of Jayden Daniels, but Adam Peters coming in from San Francisco, doing his thing and replicating his magic here. He's been doing a great job. It's been quiet the past couple of weeks, kind of make me think of what he's, scheming up, hopefully trade wise, looking maybe possibly for the defense, but he's been doing an amazing job drafting well. Even now looking at it, like a lot of our rookies are already contributing day one coming in. So I think that's always a good sign when it comes to a team rebranding and rebuilding their whole office, and their offense and defense. When rookies can come in and really contribute, that spreads a lot more opportunities for your team. When it comes to money, being able to give money more in free agency rather than having to pay your own players and stuff like that. So that's definitely the biggest thing. Definitely the unsung hero for sure, no doubt.
No, man, definitely. Just we were talking about it, like it just really is an odd feeling watching this team and just comfortably winning. Especially a game last week where they lost the Baltimore Ravens and it was a pretty close game, and a lot of teams can be hung over by that. But this Commanders team is just different. They just decided to take all their anger out on the Panthers, and even without their starting quarterback, which hopefully plays next week, they put on a show. I mean, it's insane. It's a great time to be a Commanders fan, and who knew coming into the season they'd be 5-2 after 7 games.
Exactly. Tell me about it. The amount of, the mock analysts and all those guys on ESPN talking about how we wouldn't even have like 5 wins damn near close to December. So it's pretty impressive. We're not even, it's not even Halloween. So this is definitely the best treat so far, if you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, definitely. I agree. And it's so crazy to see on mock drafts how we're not even in the top 20. We're like in the late 20s.
Exactly. And forget that. Like Stephen A. Smith talks about us every damn week, bro. When does that ever happen? So come on, that's always a good thing.
No, I definitely agree. But
something I was thinking about. What's up?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was thinking about, I was wondering like how much all this publicity would get to the team, consistently being in like all these mainstream medias and, social media and stuff like that. I wonder if they'd let the fame or the spotlight kind of get to their head. Hopefully, so far they haven't let that happen, but I'm hoping like, we just get a good role and focus on what's inside our locker room, honestly.
No, I definitely, that's a good point. It happens a lot, like mid-season collapse, especially, Cliff Kingsbury has had history where he starts off really hot and then eventually declines. But I don't think so. I think this team is very much different. I think Dan Quinn and company, they found the secret formula to winning. And even this week, when they lost a key player in this rookie quarterback, Jayden Daniels, they put up 40 points and shut down this Carolina Panthers offense, which, again, isn't the best offense in the NFL, but still playing against any team in the NFL, it's a challenge. But I think that's pretty much it, Mahad. Before we head out on here, do you want to tell the people where they can find you?
Hey, man, come out, find me, Somali Sports Guy on Twitter. Always trying to, give as much good takes as I can. So definitely follow. I'll follow back for sure.
No, I appreciate it. Definitely for coming on here last second. Again, hopefully we'll have Mahad here more on the channel in the future, and definitely check out his tweets on Twitter, or sorry, X. Definitely find some interesting stuff on there. But that's pretty much it, guys. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the DMVSportsZone channel, where to push out as much fire content out there as possible. Follow us on all social media platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter at DMVSportsZone. The Commanders are 5-2. I got Mahad on this sports podcast before GTA 6 came out.
Left
all
hand
good
up.
vibes. It's all good vibes.
Left
We're
hand
out.
Up.
Peace.